Good evening. Just got something from the SSA, and it's an alert with regard to fraud. And I'm always kind of on top of this stuff, whether it's social security specific or not. In this instance, they're talking about, and I'll connect the link so you can read it yourself. But they are talking about fraudsters that are targeting veterans, my favorite people, um, active duty service members, and the families. So, and I think down below I could see it could be anyone who's really, you know, very supportive of the veterans. I could see them falling into the families part. But they give some interesting, and this just came out today, okay, November 9th. So hopefully this will get put out in the next day or two. They said that they target veterans and the ones I mentioned before, active duty service members and their families at a higher rate than they do civilians. And I thought that was interesting. I don't know if it says why or why they think that is. Like, why would that be? They're perceiving them, I think, as a more vulnerable population. So that's really unfortunate. I did have a recent video share about some massive frauds that are going on with our seniors, our widowers, and the like, that hit really close to home. So that's why I shared that. But it says here that the veterans, are 40% more likely than their civilian counterparts to lose money to scams and schemes. 40% more likely. That's a huge number. And they want to know why. And this is kind of alluded to in my other video. They always follow the money, right? They're pointing that out, that they always follow the money, and service members always receive a steady paycheck. Notice that's also true with Social Security beneficiaries, particularly retirees. They have a very fixed, reliable form of income. Now, veterans will often have an even bigger check from the VA because that benefit tends to be bigger when I see it. So quite a bit bigger. So they say that one thing perhaps to look out for is that the fraudsters will frequently use military jargon and specific government guidelines to craft an effective pitch to extort the money. So unfortunately, that means don't expect them to sound totally stupid. They're going to perhaps sound like they know what they're talking about and they're involved in the VA system, right? So they are citing the AARP, which reported a few things, including what they see the most common scams being. Pension poaching was one, where an unethical advisor would promise to help a veteran increase his retirement savings or receive extra benefits from the Department of the VA. And they said to be wary of anyone offering to move your assets to qualify for a VA pension. And they give, and again, I'm going to have this link down below, but they give a link to VA searchable database and a phone number. I'll just give you the phone number, 855-578-5492, to determine if an attorney or a financial professional who contacts you is VA accredited and has the necessary training to complete and submit claims. So that's a good start, I think, right there, to make sure by using those two references they give, the VA searchable database and a direct phone call if you can't do that. Another common scam is a benefits payout. And this is where the fraudster may offer a payment in exchange for military disability or pension payments. It could be a one-time payment that may never materialize, or it could be just a one-time payment that they do pay, but it's significantly lower than the value of the benefit you're giving up. They said to avoid this scam or falling for it, they say to make sure to apply directly, which is free of charge, to the VA if you think you're eligible for the agency's aid and attendance benefits. Okay. Record scheme. A fraudster may try to charge you for updating or using the direct deposit form 214 even though it's a free form. And they reiterate that the VA will never ask for personal information by phone, text, or email. If you're contacted by someone who claims to be from the VA, and again, remember they say they're going to use a lot of jargon that makes them sound like they know what they're talking about, and it asks for personal information such as your social security number, you don't want to respond and you just want to hang up. I know that's hard to do because it's hard to hang up on people, right? But you know, you just got to do it. You just got to do it. And then you can call the agency directly and find out what the scoop is. And they say that number is 800-698-2411. 800-698-2411. Which is also the same thing perhaps as 1-800-MY-VA-411. So 2 phone numbers. I think they go to the same place. Then there's fake veterans charities. And this is where they get people, I think, not just veterans, but the people that care about them. It could just be people who really, really take to heart, you know, the sacrifices that veterans have done and do donations. And of course, the families as well and friends. So they'll say that the fraudster may pretend to represent a fake veteran charity that claims to raise money for struggling veterans and their military families. But then the fraudster just pockets the money, takes the donations from the legitimate charities that do serve the veterans. So there is ways to research charities. So you can go to places like, and this will, if they're on there, it'll tell you legit or not legit, right? CharityWatch.org and CharityNavigator.org. I don't know, you know, just in case capitals count with those URLs. Charity Watch, each word is capitalized. Charity Navigator, same thing. And they're both a .org, not a .com, not a .net, not a .us, .org. CharityWatch.org and CharityNavigator.org. We should all use that regardless of where we are sending our donations, right? Another scam is special military deals. They said there are legitimate discounts honoring the contributions of service members and veterans, which I know that to be so, because my husband's a veteran, and yes, on occasion we get those benefits. It could be a discount at a store or whatever. The fraudsters, it says, possibly posing as soon to be deployed service member, may offer the veteran a special deal on cars, electronics, or other products. This is sick. They often ask for wired payments, then disappear without providing the goods. Just don't buy from any source you don't know the company, is what I would kind of suggest too. And certainly not someone you just met online or over the phone, and don't send them money. Can you hear the dogs? Hear that? You probably hear the birds. Dogs are barking up a storm. I think that's because Dad's home. They kind of point out that the fraudsters, con artists, whatever you want to call them, they know that a veteran's patriotism can be their open door to their wallet. So they often approach veterans with appeals to military service brotherhood, often pretending to be veterans themselves. They go on here to where you may, it's a link, I think, and a form where you can report suspected fraud, waste, and abuse. And it's called the Program Integrity Fraud, Waste, and Abuse Complaint Form. It's VA Form 10-0500. Okay. You can also report the scams to the Federal Trade Commission, FTC. And if you go to this article, which I'll be linking you to, there is the FTC is linked. They don't describe what the URL is, but you can click on it and get to it. And you can also just do, honestly, a Google search and get to the FTC. Also the Inspector General Hotline, which is 877-777-4021. Yeah. So a bunch of good links in there, and I think it's better to be erring on the side of caution, not to be paranoid, but really only, I think, deal with entities that just no newbies. You know what I mean? Wait till they're established, and then that they're a legitimate company. And an individual, not so much. All right, that's it for that, guys. That just came out today. It's good. It's a good little alert, I think, because there's so much of this going on. It's killing me. All right, bye, guys.